This is the in-class quiz review for Chapter 1, Quiz 1. It covers sections 1.1 through 1.4. So on your quiz tomorrow, the first couple of questions look like this. It says, evaluate the following exponents by first writing out what it means. So you're going to put it in expanded form in that middle column. And then final answers can only be left in the form of a fraction or a whole number in the third column. You can't put it as a decimal in that third column. Go ahead and pause the video. Try questions 1 through 4. In question number 1, 4 to the 5th power. 4 to the 5th power, you take the base and write it out how many times the exponent says. So the exponent is a 5, therefore we have 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Type that into the calculator, you get 1,024. Now, you could either type in 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, or you could do 4 caret button 5. Remember, if you're using a different calculator, you might have a y to the x button or an x to the y button. So you might have something that looks like this for your caret button. In question number 2, this one is one that tricks up a lot of people. You have a negative exponent. When you have a negative exponent, you're going to put 1 in the numerator. Take this whole thing and put it down below, getting rid of the negative sign. So that's really 1 over 5 squared. You could also write it as 1 over 5 times 5, or you could break it apart and do 1/5 times 1/5. Any of those answers would be fine there. When you go to multiply, top times top, bottom times bottom, 1 times 1 is 1, 5 times 5 is 25. So you get 1 over 25. You cannot put this one as a decimal. In question number 3, take what's inside the parentheses, write it out 3 times. So we have 2/7 times 2/7 times 2/7. Top times top times top, bottom times bottom times bottom. You end up with 8 over 343. Again, you can't put that as a decimal. In question number 4, take what's inside the parentheses and write it out 6 times. So we have -5 times -5 times -5 times -5 times -5. Or you could type it in like this with parentheses, -5, inside parentheses, caret button 6. And you would get 15,625. So be very, very careful on those. In the next set, it says solve each of the following. Answers may be left in the form of a fraction, a decimal, a whole number, or a number with an exponent in exponential form. Quite honestly, I would take all of these, all right? All of these are these mixture questions where you have multiplying, all right? So what I would do is just type them into the calculator. Whatever you get, write it down, all right? Type them exactly how they look in the calculator. Pause the video, go ahead, try these 4 questions. So in question number 1, type in exactly how it's written. 5 caret button 0 times 3 caret button 3. When you do that, you get an answer of 27. In question number 6, 3 caret button -2 times 2 caret button -3. Make sure you're using the negative sign, not the minus sign. You get an answer of 0.01388888888 or 8 repeated. In question number 7, you have 7 caret button 2 times 2 caret button 3. When you type that into the calculator, you get 392. For question number 8, type it in exactly how it is with the parentheses. So parentheses 2 caret button 2 times 3 caret button 2, close your parentheses. Then we have an exponent of a 3 on the outside, so caret button 3. You should get 46,656. In the next ones, you have to know the rules, all right? The rules that you need to know when it is a multiplying question, you keep the base the same and you add the exponents. When it is a dividing question, you keep the base the same and subtract the exponents. When it is a power to a power question, you keep the base the same and you multiply the exponents. All of these from 9 through 20 have to be written in exponential form, all right? Exponential form means a number with an exponent, like 5 to the 8th power. You cannot write out what it is like as a real number, all right? You have to write it out as a number with an exponent, exponential form. All of these have the same basis. Go ahead and try 9 through 12. So in question number 9, this is a multiplying question. We keep the base the same. So the base is the big number, keep the base the same. Add your exponents. We have -1 plus 3, which is +2. In question number 10, this is a dividing question. We keep the base the same and subtract the exponents. Be very careful. -2 minus -3 is a +1. In question number 11, power to a power, we keep the base the same. We multiply the exponents. -2 times 3 is -6. In number 12, it's a dividing question. We keep the base the same, so we're keeping the 12 the same. We subtract the exponents. -2 minus 4 is -6. Same type of questions. Go ahead and try 13 through 16. In number 13, this is a multiplying question. We keep the base the same. We add the exponents. -3 plus -4 is -7. In number 14, it's a power to a power question. We keep the base the same. We multiply the exponents. 3 times 2 is 6. In number 15, it's a dividing question. We keep the base the same. We subtract the exponents. 9 minus 6 is 3. And in number 16, it's a power to a power question. We keep the base the same. We multiply the exponents. 3 times -2 is -6. Go ahead and try the last 4. Number 17, we keep the base the same. It's a dividing question. Keep the base the same and subtract the exponents. 3 minus 5 is -2. In number 18, it's a multiplying question. We keep the base the same. We add the exponents. 2 plus 6 is 8. In number 19, we keep the base the same. It's a 1/3, and it's a multiplying question. So we're going to add the exponents. 2 plus 6 is 8. And in number 20, make sure you keep the parentheses around the -8. This is a multiplying question. We're going to keep the base the same and add the exponents. 8 plus 4 is 12. Again, for those last 12 questions, that represents 60 points on your quiz. You have to memorize these 3 rules for those. Multiplying question, keep the base the same and add the exponents. Dividing question, keep the base the same and subtract the exponents. Power to a power, keep the base the same and multiply the exponents.